Hello, everybody. Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw! Worlds is over. You can hear my voice still absolutely wrecked from those grand finals. And we have a patch for Pokemon Unite, a pretty surprising one. I didn't expect it to come out. It is going to be the U Impact Part 3 balance patch. We can see Comfey, Urshifu, Alolan, Raichu, Latias. No surprise here. This thing is prime for buffs, and Miraidon, interestingly enough. So let's take a look at what they're doing here. Latias, first thing they're talking about. This is no surprise, by the way. Half of this Pokemon's kit is not super great, so I would have expected buffs for Latias. They are doing Mist Ball, more damage, increasing the damage by 200% on the first stage. Move speed reduction from 30% to 40%. Dragon's Wave, more damage hit. This is Dragon Pulse here, right? Damage of telekinesis bullets increased by 10%. So stronger moves here. Dragon Ale, the second use, can now be used to move to a different ally. That's just a really interesting situation for what we call Dragon Cheer, right? Could be pretty cool, actually. But it also now guarantees, I guess, that you're moving. So I'm interested in this one. And then Dragon Breath, 30% move speed reduction has been added. And while Dragon Breath Plus, it's 40%. So yeah, this is all super fair. This Pokemon was not god-awful or anything like that, but let's be reasonable about it. It was a pretty underwhelming release in a category full of ludicrously good Pokemon. So I'm not shocked at all to see buffs across the board for this. Will they break it? You never know. This doesn't actually read like it's fully broken, but they're adding a lot to it, so it could become extremely powerful. The notes about it are, he has been significantly strengthened in both damage and support capabilities, allowing him to establish a unique role as both a damage dealer and support player. Isn't it canon that it is female, though, right? Isn't that canon? Isn't that canon? All right, let's move on. Urshifu. Waiting time from Siryuren from 11 to 10 seconds, I believe. That is the Rapid Strike build, right? Aqua Break, amount of shield given increased by 8%. And Koko Kuyu, move speed reduction applied to self when charging. That has to be Wicked Blow. And then Hell Plus, the effect of reducing the wait time for this move with Dark Side 30 to 40%. I think we're talking about Throat Chop right here. I'd have to look at it, but I think that's what we're talking about. We improved the usability of both characteristics, making them more effective for both. In particular, we improved the frequency of skill usage and the risk during charging, making it easier to utilize each character's strengths. Urshifu really had no presence at all at Worlds. It hasn't had much presence in our meta for a while. Really cool Pokemon, two distinct fighting styles, and it hasn't really been bad. I think Dark Bear's actually been particularly good for a while, but it definitely doesn't get much play in the meta, so I'm not shocked to see some changes here as we head on over to Miraidon. Miraidon is getting HP changes, 7,300 at max from 7,000, so a little HP, especially at the top end. We've got defense and special defense changes as you scale. It just looks like they are slowly going through all of the attackers in the game and making them just a little bulkier in some of these situations. And we have a charge beam damage increase. Overall durability to reduce frequency of being killed in one hit. I know this is a translation, but they get knocked out, people. And increase the damage of the underperforming charge beam. I actually love charge beam, but it has consistently been the lower, I should say, win rate build, right? Moving on to, Comfey. Here we go. 3,000 to 5,500 HP, now goes up to 5,900. Defenses, actually quite a bit of an increase in defenses, which I don't really mind as long as you're encouraged to hop off more, That actually makes a lot of sense. Angel's Kiss, shield amount, 20% increase. So we're talking, of course, about Sweet Kiss. Move speed increase, 40% to 50%. By increasing her durability and strengthening the shield amount, of the angelic kiss she gives when clinging to an ally, we've strengthened the strategy of clinging to and separating from allies to support them. Hey, Jake, you just said this, dude. All right. I designed the patch, apparently. Although if I designed the patch, all of this would just say Comfey has been removed from the video game. It was a horrible mistake. What were we thinking? We're releasing Empoleon early. Alolan Raichu, we have a buff to Electric Ball and 10,000 volts. Paralysis duration 1 second to 2. The damage and disruptive power of the move has been increased, giving him more opportunities to play an active role as an attacker for his team. Those are pretty minor buffs, right? 10% damage increase is definitely not bad, and it might push it to a realm of picking up a KO that it otherwise wouldn't, which is definitely viable. And then the 10,000 volts, this one I'm not positive on. I don't know if this is the Thunderbolt move. I have to assume it is Thunderbolt, right? But I need to look more into that one. Latios right here. Okay, this ought to be interesting because kind of like Latias, half of its kit is useless, and then part of it's way too good, which is not that much like Latias. Okay, Telekinesis, one of the worst moves ever created. Damage increased 30%, wait time reduced by half a second, time to disable opponent unified to 1 second. First stage projectile speed increased. Second stage range increased. Second stage usage conditions can now be used even if the first stage is not it. Okay. So this is just way better. So much better. And it has to be so much better because it's absolute garbage. It's like the worst move. It does nothing. But this is a huge range of buffs here. Next, we have Ryu Saigun. Damage increase. I believe this is Draco Meteor. Yes. And now we have Dragon's Wave. Psychic Bullet damage decreased by about 15%. So that's Dragon Pulse. I mean, very fair. Here's the thing about Latios. It is kind of boring, not great for a while, and then way too good when you have all of your stacks. So this is probably fair. I would say overall this looks like a nerf to Latios because this move is so incredibly broken. That's the only real broken part of its kit. So you probably are actually looking at a general Latios nerf. However, the other builds getting considerably better. We've significantly improved the ability telekinesis and strengthened it to become a new tactical access. Fun. At the same time, we've adjusted the overall balance by reducing the damage of Dragon Pulse, which dealt high damage. Agreed. Ho-Oh Sacred Fire. Yeah. Yep. This is all fair. That move is so good. Range going down 1.5 meters. Attack range from 3 to 2.5. Flight time lowered by 2 seconds. His high mobility and wide attack range made it difficult for opponents to deal with. So we adjusted his mobility and attack range. Yeah, all fair. Mawip is what it is called in Japan. Magical Shine, damage 8% reduction, and Sweet Scent damage 12% reduction. In addition to its support abilities, its contribution in terms of damage was also extremely high. For this reason, we've reduced the damage of some of its moves and adjusted abilities to be more suited to support types. Yeah, Alcremie, I mean, it kind of got giga buffed after it released, really underwhelming. And now they're kind of bringing it back down to earth while still keeping some of the support style buffs to it, which I think are very fair. Suicune Snow Avalanche, damage reduced by approximately 19 to 23%. Yeah, the damage of Snow Avalanche was too high for a move learned early in battle, so we adjusted it downwards. We've got held item adjustments, everybody. All right. Rescue Hood, shield amount going from 14 to 17 top end. HP recovery from 14 to 17. Drain Crown, you old salty dog, going from 13% to 15. What did this thing release at? 10 or something, right? It released really low. It's up like from release, it's like about a 5%. Maybe it was like 8% or something. Wow. All right. Well, I'm excited to see Drain Crown and Rescue. I love this says Rescue Food here. Get better, considering Rescue Hood's actually okay. But Drain Crown's just been so bad for so long. I wonder if this will still be viable. I mean, still be. If this will become viable, I'm very curious to find out. I think the biggest thing would just be let your autos recover against shields. But 15% is a lot of lifesteal. That is a lot of lifesteal. I mean, that's like the top end of a Pokemon's kit is 15% lifesteal in a lot of cases when you have a lot of lifesteal in a kit. So that will be pretty interesting. Well, all right, everybody. New unexpected patch. I should be on tomorrow, I think, checking a lot of stuff out. I love you. Thank you to everyone who was so cool, said hi at Worlds. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye, everybody. We did it.